All right, so we're getting into our project rotations. And what that means is that students are going to make 4 different projects through this, and they'll just rotate through them when they get done. And so they have over here what I call a craftsman style coat rack. And so they will create this. This is my teaching model, which basically it comes apart. It shows them how it's joined. We're using biscuits and dowels for this, so you can see at the top here at the part, there's the biscuits. It shows them how to lay it out so that they can easily kind of recreate that. So that one is about some joinery. This one is using the laser engraver and then our CNC router. So they will create a panel. They'll take it to the CNC router, cut it out, leaving some tabs there, then take that and clean up the flush trim router. That then goes to the laser engraver to cut out these parts and create your national park sign. The next one that they make is a checkerboard, and they will just use redwood and pine to do this. It teaches them how to do a more complex glue up, so they'll start by making their panel, and then they basically get their checkerboard pattern by flipping over and re-gluing that. So that is one that works on their kind of glue up capacity. Their final one is looking at templates and carving with routers. So this is hand carved. You know, you go to a state fair and they'll have the redwood signs. This one is another template. So they'll use a template, they'll make a panel, and then they will use a flush trim router to get their template cut out exactly. And then they'll use routers, they'll letter it, and they'll use different router bits and hand routers to create those signs. So the reason that I really like the projects in terms of a rotation is it keeps every kid busy, right? If they finish this one, they just go on to the next one. And it also spreads out the tool use. So if I'm using something like the CNC router or the hand routers, where I only have like 4 of them for the class, I can keep everybody busy and I'm not having people waiting in line for the tools as much. So it takes me about a semester to get where I'm comfortable, where the kids can do their project rotations. But once they get to this point, it's really fun. It'll take us about 6 weeks to do these projects. And again, it keeps kids busy. It has some creativity to it. They can do what they want in terms of projects. And it has some leeway in terms of how students approach them. Okay, so I realized I didn't explain the rotation part of this very well. So the way that the project rotations work, I have my 4 projects, and the national park, the hand router, the craftsman rack, and then the checkerboard. And the key with this is that I divide the class into 4 groups to start with. And then each group starts at a different project. So some will start on number 2, some on 3, some on 4, some on 1. And what that does is when they finish with 1, let's say that they finish project 2, then they just go to 3. And the really critical part with that is it really breaks it up. I only have about 7 to 8 students working on each project at a time. And that also means that there are only 7 or 8 students using those machines, those materials. And it's a really nice way to spread things out amongst the shop. It'd be really hard to have everybody working on each of these at the same time, having 30 students trying to use the CNC router or use the router table with the flush trim bits. So that's how I do it. I divide them up, they work through them. They get to kind of work at their own pace as well, which is a nice way for them to work through these projects.